There are a lot of people who want to live here mainly because of the schools and the great community that it offers. Hello there, this is Verma with Compass Real Estate. Today I'm going to be giving you guys an update on Menlo Park real estate. What's going on in terms of price per square foot, the average days on the market, and also giving a little bit insight about what the total market condition is. Because I know a lot of people want to know how the market is doing as compared to last year, if it's slowing down, if the prices are decreasing or not. So there's a lot of questions in people's mind and I want to make sure we address all those questions. So first I want to show you the graph out here. We have the price per square foot, the average price per square foot. And as you can see in Menlo Park, the average price per square foot is about $1,200, $1,300 per square foot. What has happened is, this graph kind of shows you last year as well as month to month. So as you can see, this is October. We are at $1,312 per square foot. Prior to that we were $1,351, prior to that we were $1,386. And so we had a little bit of a bump and then we kind of gradually went down a little bit. So there's a slight decrease in the price per square foot, about 1.4%. But compared to last year, if you compare October of 2019 to October of 2018, we were at 1335 and then we jumped all the way to 1420. So we were really at a little bit higher price per square foot last year as compared to this year. But if you're talking about overall shift, it's not that much. We're talking about 1.2% in the 2% range decrease. So not really a huge change in the price per square foot in Menlo Park. I know there are other cities that probably have a little bit higher shift in price per square foot. But in Menlo Park we don't. That's because it's still a great desirable place to stay. There are a lot of people who want to live here mainly because of the schools and the great community that it offers. And also another fact that I'm sure you're already aware of it, Menlo Park was featured as #1 city in the entire state of California as a great city to live in and to raise a family. So that was a great article that came out. And so let's go to the next slide. So this slide talks about the average days on market, and I wanted to give you a perspective of what's going on in terms of how many properties, how long it's taking for properties to be sold. And as you can see in the slide out here, we have about 22 days, 32 days, 32. So it is still in that range of 3 to 4 weeks. Last year, compared to last year, it has shifted a little bit, and we are seeing properties sitting on the market for a little bit longer. Now, anytime the properties are sitting for more than 45 days, 60 days, you see a little bit of a different trend. And I'm going to talk about when that shift happens. That's a buyer's market. When the inventory of the homes goes above 6 months, that's when it becomes a buyer's market. Right now we are still in a seller's market. The inventory is still less than 3 months. So so still it's a great time. There's still a lot of activity happening. In October we have only 22 days. Prior to that it was 32, 32, 22. As you can see, the lowest was about 13 days in the market back in April of 2019. So that was a really super hot market that we had, and also back in October of this time of 2018. So we did have a little bit of a shift in the market where properties are staying a little bit longer. But historically, if you look at it, that's pretty normal to have properties stay for about 3 to 4 weeks. So it's not out of the norm. It's just we got so used to seeing properties being sold in one weekend and 10 days. So now it feels a little bit strange to have properties sitting there for maybe 3 weeks or even 4 weeks. But it's just the nature of the market. It keeps shifting. So I want to make sure everybody is staying on track. And this kind of just gives you a percentage change of what's going on. And as you can see, the shift happened right here. So from 32 to 22. So this slide talks about in Menlo Park, the properties for sale versus for that were sold and the pending. So the red line shows all the properties that were pending, and then the number of properties that were sold is in the green, and the number of properties for sale is in the light green. So as you can see, there has been a little bit of movement that we've seen. There's more number of properties that are on the market now compared to in the summer, obviously, but you can see that we had a lot more sales happening, especially if you look at June, we had more sold and less for sale because we have this pending inventory that got absorbed. Now the inventory has gotten a lot more. As you can see, in September we had 61 houses for sale. And by the way, this is only focusing on single family homes. It doesn't include any townhouses or condos. So this is strictly single family. As you can see, there's 61 homes for sale, and then we sold in September only 20, and then in October, out of the 60, we sold about 28. And then these are all the pendings that we have. So compared to last year, in October, we had 27 sold, and we still actually 28 sold, which is still in line with what we had this year. So it hasn't really shifted in terms of the number of sales that have happened. It's still pretty consistent. What has happened is there's probably a little bit more inventory that did not get absorbed, so we have a lot more inventory on the market right now as compared to last year. So the light green graphs are much taller out here, but the sales are still happening. As you can see, we're still selling a lot of product. A lot of people are still moving into this desirable city, and so there's a lot of activity happening still. So just to recap, we have a pretty robust real estate market right now. Especially in Menlo Park, we have a lot of sales activity happening. There is a lot of people who want to move into this beautiful city, beautiful neighborhoods out here. And there has been a little bit shift in the days on the market. Properties are taking a little bit longer to sell because there's a lot of inventory to choose from. But there hasn't been a significant drop in the price. As you saw, the price per square foot is very slightly dipped, almost under 2%. So still great prices, and if you're looking to sell, this is a great time where the prices are still at really great levels right now. And if you're looking to buy, obviously there's the interest rates are really low right now, so you have the opportunity to get into a house that you really love and get those great interest rates. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to call me or email me. My information is right after this. So look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye now.